Here's a look at your local weather forecast on SNSN. Cloudy skies today. Temperatures only getting to about 63 degrees with a north wind around 7 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy skies as well tonight. Temperatures dropping all the way down to about 50 and a little bit of a wind from the north around 5 miles per hour. And the outlook for Wednesday, finally sunny skies back in eastern Connecticut. Temperatures right around 71 degrees.
There are two types of traffic control devices that require drivers to come to a complete stop before proceeding forward: red lights and stop signs. According to statistics published by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, an average of 2 people die each day in the United States in automobile collisions caused by someone running a red light, and over 120,000 are injured. 45% of all crashes occur at intersections where someone often has a stop sign or red light and fails to stop and or yield the right of way after stopping. When the driver fails to stop for a traffic control device, the results can be deadly, particularly if they are rushing to beat a yellow light. Failing to stop constitutes negligence on the part of the vehicle operator. The following has been brought to you by Crystal Health and Safety.
Your news and information source, SNSN.
All right. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
How are you?
Excellent.
So we get to see you on Tuesdays and sometimes Thursdays.
I think changing shifts this Saturday, so this Thursday will be the last one for 4 weeks.
Really?
Yep.
I would just quit your job.
I wish I could.
That's what I would do. If I were you, I would just say no. I got radio to do. I can't be bothered with this paying crap.
Well, you can listen to Waterford if you want to hear me on the radio.
Oh, that's true. You can do that, couldn't you? How's your week, man? How are things?
Busy.
How are things in the rich household?
Busy. Very, very busy.
Yeah. What makes it busy? 3
teenagers. 2 different schools.
Okay. All right.
14, 15, 16 years old.
Sure.
Actually, one of them just got nominated as one of the, homecoming court people thingies.
Oh, who's that?
Which kid?
Yeah.
Nick. Kathy's son.
Okay.
Yep. He's goes to NFA and they got nominated as one of the, I don't know, they could take 3 of them in each class now or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody gets a trophy, all 3 of them now.
Oh, so they get like a participation award?
Yeah. You all 3 get nominated, all 3 get in the court. And here's your trophy.
Good job, pal.
But it's out of 500 kids.
You get a participation award. That's awesome.
But it's 3 out of 500, so that's pretty neat.
So you make the King's Court and you get a participation award. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's almost like there's no king.
Does it matter?
I don't know. And I want to know, where's the 3 come out of?
There'll be no toy makers to the king.
It's almost like a court threesome. 3 of them, not 2.
Yeah.
So
I think it's funny that they you get nominated for the Homecoming King's Court or whatever they call it now, and you get a participation award. Good job, Johnny. We go.
You have to wear fancy clothes for the whole week and get your picture taken. And Nick's I want nothing to do with this.
So what? So is he doing it or?
Yeah, he's gonna do it, but he doesn't want to do all that fluffy stuff.
Not his style.
No,
not
any of our styles. It's no. I told him to get one of those T-shirts with a bow tie and the fake suit.
Oh, okay.
And you wear that around all day.
Got it. So one of my pet peeves about doing this whole radio thing in the morning is that no, is that I hear people all the time. Oh, can you do this on Facebook? I really wish you'd stream this on Facebook because I'm on Facebook, and everybody's on Facebook. No, they're not. We get more people on the stream on our app every single morning.
Really?
A long shot. Than people actually clicking on.
Oh.
See, what happens on Facebook is they click on, they click off.
Oh yeah, I
Most
noticed.
of them are trolls. You know, they just boom, boom, they're gone. It's like, oh, they're not pole dancing. Oh, it's not entertainment. It's not negative. Oh, it's not entertainment.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know. Oh.
Well, I noticed if I want to look at something, I get a notification that pops me right off of the. So yeah, I end up getting shut off from the show.
Really?
Yeah, if
What do
I
you mean?
get a notification in the morning if I'm working or something, and I put the show on, if I click on top, we get a notification that I'm gonna end up breaking this one day. It
Great. Go right ahead.
it knocks you right out, and you got to really log back into the show.
That sucks.
Yeah.
No, we
I haven't tried the app in a while though.
More people are on the app.
Hmm.
I mean, it's audio only on the app. It's not.
Maybe that's why.
Video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you know, all time. Yeah. And then you put it on Facebook. And then nobody's like, yeah, you know what's not interesting? It's Fire Prevention Week. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, no one's doing a stupid
cares?
video or no one's doing something weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cat's not lost in Ashland Street.
No, that's right.
No.
And we're not talking about the high prices on Atlantic broadband, you know. And holy cow, why does our internet suck? You know, that's not what we're talking about today. And you know, and that garners viewers and listeners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the negative stuff,
the important stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it is Fire Prevention Week. So that's something that you're very well trained in, correct?
I like to think so.
Okay, so give us an idea. If you can give us an idea what fire prevention. I mean, other than the obvious.
Yeah, other than prevention. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, a lot of times the fire departments go into the local schools. So if there's every town has a fire department, but
you think
some have 4, some have 5, some have 1, some have 2, some have a half. But it depends on where you are, but whoever's there will go to the local schools and they'll go in, and usually the younger kids in elementary school, and they'll try and teach them about how to get out of the house safely, have a meeting place with your family, don't play with matches and lighters, that kind of stuff.
All right.
Make sure your smoke detectors are working.
Is it a thing that you're supposed to change your smoke detector batteries when the time changes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Whether they're brand new or not, because that gets you on a schedule.
See, I have heard the last time I did that it didn't really matter. Just wait for the damn thing to start beeping, and then you change them.
This should beep, but what it does is try and prevent a possible mishap. That's all.
So what about carbon monoxide?
Yes.
Detectors are those? Do they work?
Yes, they do.
We
get a lot of alarms, especially in the wintertime.
Why the wintertime?
Because the heating systems kick on. So what carbon monoxide comes from incomplete combustion. So the gases will be released into the house, poor ventilation and stuff out of the furnaces or gas stoves. Those are good for them. And what will happen is it'll fill the atmosphere with carbon monoxide, which displaces the oxygen inside your bloodstream.
Okay.
So a lot of times you'll start feeling like flu-like symptoms. So now with COVID, who knows? You don't have carbon monoxide, you got COVID, but...
Got it. You know, that's true. Yeah.
So
I have a hangnail. No, it's COVID.
There was actually, when I was down in the southern part of the state, we had a family... Almost the whole family died. Only like 2 people survived out of a whole family. And 2 or 3 little kids, if I'm not mistaken, both
That's
adults. Awful. And they all thought they were coming down with the flu because they're in the same house. What happened was the chimney got backed up, and they had the chimney on, and it was pushing the carbon monoxide into the house. So one person started feeling sick. They're like, all right, well, Johnny's got the flu or something. Then someone else came down with the same signs and symptoms, like it's just going from member to member. And before they knew it, someone came to visit the family, and most of them were dead.
Eesh.
So it's a very serious thing.
Should people leave their windows open
when the alarm goes off?
No, I mean pretty much any time of the year.
Well, me personally, I would leave my window open all year.
I do too. Yeah.
Ask Kathy; she'll tell you.
Huh?
Ask Kathy.
Oh yeah, yes. Mostly just like, oh, you're turning the fan on. Oh.
Still have the AC on right now.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. I can't sleep unless it's 60 degrees or less.
Wow. Yeah. I need it to be chilly. I can't sleep if it's warm.
The 60s on the border.
Is that a dude thing? Because women are like perpetually cold.
I think mostly, but her brother is the same way. Every day is cold.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but every female that I've known, pretty much, including my kids, it's oh my God, it's cold. I'm like, no, it's nice.
No,
it's
beautiful.
Yeah.
But carbon monoxide, it's a lot of people don't realize why they should have those alarms, and they should have one downstairs. They should have a few upstairs, one outside the bedrooms, because carbon monoxide is also not like smoke. It'll be lower, so it'll actually collect lower.
Okay.
So like when we go and check houses, we should be checking in closets as well for carbon monoxide, and under couches, behind the couches, stuff like that, because the carbon monoxide will collect in those areas, and that's what will pick up the most. And a lot of times when they call 911, they're like, oh, I opened all my doors and windows because my alarm's going off. That's actually the worst thing you can do.
Great.
Because you should be going outside. You shouldn't be staying in the house, but you leave all your doors and windows closed because that makes our job easier. Because now after you open all your doors and windows, when the alarm goes off, you're actually introducing fresh air into the house, which is going to displace it and make it harder to find where it's coming from.
See, I would have thought that if carbon monoxide was, if the detector went off, to open your windows and doors, to.
That's what you would think, which is why a lot of people do it. It makes sense, right? Because you want to make it safe for you.
Well, I would think, I mean, that would just, I guess as a layperson, not really knowing a whole lot about it, if anything, that would seem to be the logical thing.
It is it is a logical thing. This is why it makes sense. But the idea is you go outside. So you get into the fresh air.
Oh, okay.
And then if you leave the house closed up, it's building up the CO, and we go in and now we can say, okay, there are large amounts of CO in the house. Or then we can also find out where it's coming from. Yeah. Instead of the people opening the doors and all the windows, and now we have to reseal the house up to find out if there is any carbon monoxide in the house, because it's going to collect again. And it's going to eventually, we'll be able to find the source. So that's why we say leave them shut.
Got it.
Same thing with a fire. You don't leave all your windows and doors open because you're introducing oxygen into the house.
And that will help the fire spread.
Right. It's like, big thing also is have all the doors to every single bedroom closed while you're sleeping.
Really?
That's a huge safety thing. A lot of people don't know that.
I never would have thought that.
Because the fire spreads from room to room quickly.
Okay.
Especially with the newer construction houses, it's like a tinderbox. All the they're not built as sturdy. They're not built as well because they're cheaper.
Right. And
everything in the house is going to burn quicker, so it's going to spread a lot faster. Some houses will go up before the fire department even gets there. All these newer style construction houses, most of them on the ground,
like a matchstick.
Yeah, they're on the ground burning through before the fire department even gets there. So the important thing we want to tell people is shut your bedroom doors. And if you look at some of the research on online, the real stuff, not Facebook stuff. And you look at it.
Did you hear that? Not the Facebook stuff, the real stuff.
Yeah, look at like the research labs and stuff when they do the safety.
Is it on Facebook?
Well, some of the videos from the companies themselves will be on Facebook, but look at credible sources, not just some repost that someone found somewhere. Make sure it's a credible source, and you can actually see that they'll have pictures of one bedroom where the door was shut, where the kid was in it when he was sleeping, and another one when it wasn't. And the bedroom with the door that was not shut's burned, and the one that was shut is only a little damaged, but it's not as bad at all.
Well, you know what they say: if it didn't happen on Facebook, it didn't happen at all.
Right? It's true.
So yeah, that's how many calls do you get a year on average regarding carbon monoxide?
I can only guess.
Or month, or is it easier to
you get a few a month in the wintertime?
Okay,
at least. Sometimes a few a week.
More so in the wintertime than
right, because the heating sources are kicking on.
I got it. Okay, all right.
Sometimes gas stoves though in people's houses will come up as carbon monoxide.
And you can't smell it.
Carbon monoxide is you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. So that's why it's a killer. You don't know. You start to feel sick. You're like, I'm starting to come down with something, and then you don't realize it's carbon monoxide. So
got it.
That's why a lot of times with our EMS bags, or some people have personal carbon monoxide detectors on them, and you go to flu-like symptoms call or a headache call or something like that.
It triggers you.
The alarm will go off saying, "Oh, wait a minute, this isn't just a normal medical call; it's actually hazmat."
Wow.
Yeah.
Hazmat?
Hazardous material. It's a hazardous.
No, I know what it means.
Because now we have to leave the house. We got to put all our gear on. You got to put the SCBA on, bring all the detectors in. You got to have another company come in with another detector to verify your detector is correct. So it turns into a big to-do versus just a normal little medical call.
I never would have thought.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you think some things are kind of easy, they're really not, are they?
Well, a lot of people think it's easy. Yeah, you hear it all the time on the radio, and honestly, a lot of times it comes out the detector's bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, very few times do we ever get there, and it ends up being a real carbon monoxide emergency. But there are those couple times where you're going to go, and it's life threatening.
It's something.
Yeah.
Have you been to a life-threatening carbon monoxide call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 115 parts per million in one of the buildings one time.
What?
115 parts per million.
I don't know what that means.
So basically, there's 115 particles per every
million particles? Particles of what?
normal air. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which does every time you have a particle, it displaces the oxygen. So what is that? The higher the number, the worse it's going to be. So it's going to displace the oxygen from getting into your body and giving you energy. So it's going to.
So basically, what does it just suffocate you? Is that what it does?
Simply to explain it, yes.
Okay.
Yep. In a simple way of explaining it, sure. And the problem with this is you get a headache, you lay down. I want to relax. I have a nasty headache, and then you don't wake up.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I guess it's one of those things that people just don't know enough about. Because I sure as heck, I mean, you hear about it, right? You hear about, you need a carbon monoxide detector. Why? I don't know, because somebody said I needed one.
Right.
I don't really know what it does. You know, it's got to go ahead and it's got to find this stuff that I can't see it, I can't smell it, can't hear it, can't nothing.
Yep.
Some people think, well, that's kind of a crock.
You would think.
Not.
No, it's not at all. It's probably, honestly, I would say it's probably a worse threat than fire.
No kidding.
Yeah. My personal experience, you get a lot more CO calls than you get possible structure fire calls in the winter time.
Gotcha.
So fire alarms and carbon monoxide alarm detectors now are, I believe, and I believe that the newer ones you have to have in the buildings that are new construction, they have to be combination. They're not separate anymore. So
got it. Well, it's pretty interesting. It really is, because I had you hear about it, you hear about what it does. It won't happen to you,
right?
It's one of those, but all of a sudden then it does.
Yeah, and the ones that say it won't happen to me are the ones that it definitely will happen to. That's
So you say that carbon monoxide poisoning is actually more of a risk than a house fire.
Statistically, my experience, it is. Without doing any formal numbers or anything. My experience, I've been to more carbon monoxide calls than actual structure fire calls.
Okay. Really?
Yeah. But keep in mind, when you have a structure fire, you have carbon monoxide as well. So
yeah. So when you go into schools, or when fire professionals go into schools, what kind of things do they try to translate to the kids? Because they're young, they're impressionable. Yeah. I mean, what kind of things
the key is to keep it simple, obviously, because they're young and their attention span is that of an older person later. So they're going to lose interest very quickly. So we try and make it very interesting for them. Number one is a lot of times, stop, drop, and roll. You catch on fire, stop, don't run around. You stop, you drop, and you roll. You try to put the fire out, smother it.
I heard that. Stop, drop, and roll, Grandma.
Yep.
So
the other one is, go home, talk to your parents about 911. How do you call 911? What do you tell them? And that's a lot of times younger kids will actually call at fire prevention time. Hey, I'm testing 911. I went to school. And you don't be mean to them, because you don't want them to be afraid to call anymore.
Right. No, that's what you do, right?
Yeah, that's my full-time job. So the important thing is, talk to them and, have a place to go outside if as a fire alarm goes off, the smoke detector. Have a place to meet. That way you can account for everybody in the house and make sure they're okay. You know who's there.
Joanne says, thanks for the information. I learned something today.
Okay.
See, that's what we try to do.
Excellent.
We try to bring in people. Well, Rich just shows up. I didn't tell him to come here. He just shows up.
I had nothing better to do this morning.
Let's go talk to Mike. Yeah. He's not doing nothing either, probably.
So we'll talk to them. The big thing we also do is the very little kids. We'll bring our fire gear with the fire truck and we'll put it on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk to them like this first, and then we'll put the gear on slowly, and then we'll have them come over and hit the helmet, pull on the gear, yell at us so they get comfortable if they see us in a house where they're crawling around. Because little kids tend to go hide. Well, you'll find them under couches, under their bed, in the closet, because scary things coming. What do you do when the boogeyman comes? You hide. Right. And they do the same thing in any scary situation, so they'll go and hide. And then when we do a primary search in a house, in a real fire, it's not like TV. In a real fire,
the flagship for Griswold High School sports.
Good. Anyway,
in a real fire, you can't see anything. So when we train, we'll put either fill a place up with smoke, or we'll put hoods on backwards and we'll blind the firefighter. And everything you do is by touch. So if they go and hide under something, we're not going to feel a body. We're going to feel like a pile of clothes or under the bed. Right. So we teach them, hey, you see guys like this and you hear them, it sounds like Darth Vader a little bit. Yep. Don't be afraid. Go up and yell and talk to them. And then we'll tell them to do if you have to hide in your bedroom, like shut the door so the fire doesn't come in your bedroom. Same thing if you're sleeping. Mm-hmm. And then, throw something out of the window or hang a sheet out of the window. So that's not normal. That'll catch the attention right away, and we'll know someone's probably in there. Okay.
So you want to make yourself known.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good stuff. And it's when you start teaching the kids at a very young age.
Yeah, that's when it sticks.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's pretty important. Now,
mm-hmm.
Fire Prevention Week is now. It's this week through the 9th.
Yep.
Is there a website or that people can go to? Or
I'll post stuff on Jewett City Fire Department's page once in a while. I'll throw things up there sometimes. I put I put something about smoke detectors last week.
You know what? I thought I saw something. Before we break for news here, I want to. Firepreventionweek.org.
Yep. By NFPA or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually this is Fire Prevention Week, but it's also Fire Prevention Month.
Yeah, the whole month, right? But I think the week is when we tend to go into schools. But a lot of schools now don't want them coming in and spending a lot of time because it's taken away from all the education that's been mandated and everything. So,
gotcha. All right. So don't forget, it's Fire Prevention Week right through the 9th, and then Fire Prevention Month all month. And you can go to firepreventionweek.org for more information, or nfpa.org.
And next week we're going to the schools in Griswold.
Okay.
So
very good. All right. We're going to take a quick break for the news, local and national. And we will be back in a few minutes, and we'll talk about things like, there's going to be a town meeting Thursday. Didn't know if you knew, but we're going to talk about that. Chances are you didn't know about it. And we're going to talk about what kind of things Rich and Kathy argue about. That'll be fun right here on SNSN.
Flagship for Griswold High School sports, and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City.
The Streeting News and Sports Network, SNSN.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. The Biden administration has reversed a ban on abortion referrals. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Under former President Trump, clinics were barred from referring patients for abortions, prompting a mass exit by service providers affiliated with Planned Parenthood. But the Department of Health and Human Services has announced a new policy that will allow federally funded health clinics to refer patients to abortion providers. The National Right to Life Committee criticized the Biden administration for supplementing the abortion industry through taxpayer funds. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Officials investigating one of California's largest oil spills are looking into whether a ship's anchor may have struck a pipeline on the ocean floor, causing a major leak of crude oil. Jason Pace, a tourist from Boise, Idaho, says it was disappointing for his family to find Southern California beaches closed because of the spill.
It was very depressing to see nobody in the water. As we pulled up, my daughter was almost in tears because she felt like her whole trip was no longer going to happen.
The spill sent up to 126,000 gallons of heavy crude into the ocean. Facebook and its Instagram and WhatsApp platforms are back online after a massive global outage. plunged the services and the businesses, as well as people who rely on them, into chaos for hours. Facebook says, quote, the root cause of this outage was a faulty configuration change. The Supreme Court says it will not get involved in a lawsuit over a disputed Pentagon cloud computing contract. It's a decision that follows the contract's cancellation earlier this year. The case was one of hundreds the High Court said it would not hear on Monday. On Wall Street, Dow futures are up 106 points. NASDAQ futures are ahead by 43. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Excuse me, why don't you have life insurance yet?
I've got diabetes, and I know the price will be through the roof for the pre-existing condition.
Well, actually, SelectQuote makes it easy to get very affordable life insurance, even if you have a health issue.
I'm listening.
You'll get quotes from some of the country's most trusted carriers. Even with your diabetes, you can get around $250,000 in insurance for as little as $1 a day.
That would be amazing. What's it called again?
SelectQuote. Just call or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote. Get the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call 1-800-694-1010 or go to selectquote.com today. That's 1-800-694-1010 or selectquote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Monthly premiums vary based on health company and other factors. Not available in all states.
A giant Chicago PR firm tightens its belt.
The world's largest public relations firm, Edelman, is moving its Chicago offices, downsizing by 78,000 square feet into a smaller, more collaborative workspace. Edelman generates $900 million in business. It launched in 1952 with only one account, Tony Home Permanents.
Correspondent Keith Peters reporting. A prominent rights group says the Taliban unlawfully killed 13 ethnic Hazaras, most of them Afghan soldiers who had surrendered to the insurgents. A report by Amnesty International says the killings took place in late August in central Afghanistan, about 2 weeks after the Taliban had seized control of the country. The Taliban have sought to reassure Afghans that they had changed from their previous harsh rule in the late 1990s. The world is watching whether the Taliban would live up to initial promises of tolerance. News and analysis at townhall.com. Authorities say a Drug Enforcement Administration special agent was killed Monday when a passenger opened fire as officers were doing a routine inspection for illegal contraband on an Amtrak train in Tucson, Arizona. Tucson Police Chief Chris Magnus says the suspect died at the scene.
Some time went on. There wasn't clarity whether this suspect was still alive or not, whether he had been shot or not, but ultimately it was determined that the suspect in the bathroom was in fact deceased.
Magnus's comments were aired on KGUN. A second agent and a Tucson police officer were wounded. A former Facebook data scientist has stunned lawmakers and the public with revelations of the company's awareness of apparent harm to some teenagers from Instagram and her accusations of dishonesty in its fight against hate and misinformation. Frances Haugen has come forward with a wide-ranging condemnation of Facebook. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The home of Griswold Wolverine Sports, SNSN. The 9 a.m. report on the streaming news and sports network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary in business. How do you stay in business that long in a small town like Jewett City? It's a simple recipe, really great food and friendly service. friends, and of course, family. You'll feel like family too because you'll always be greeted with a smile that makes you feel like you're right at home. Stop by for breakfast or lunch 7 days a week. If you don't have any time, well, that's no problem. Order ahead and your food will be waiting for you when you walk into Charlene's door. You can find Charlene's Diner on Facebook too. Stop in and join the family for breakfast or lunch today.
I'm Charlene. Come to Charlene's Diner and order what you want and eat what you get.
This is a news update from the Streaming News and Sports Programming Network, SNSN. At the latest Borough of Jewett City meeting, it was announced that 2 new resident state troopers have been hired to replace the previous ones that were here for really just a cup of coffee. Trooper Tim Wengloski will be the new evening trooper. Trooper Wengloski has been a trooper since 2018, and Trooper First Class John Martin will serve as the daytime trooper here in the borough. However, Martin is on military leave until April. Until then, Trooper Dave Goulart will be filling in until Martin's return. Trooper Martin has been on the force since 2007. On Sunday at about 5:17 p.m., members of Plainfield Police, American Legion Ambulance, and the Moosup Fire Department all responded to the scene of a single motor vehicle crash in the area of 58 Plainfield Road in Moosup. Upon the investigation of responding officers, it was determined that a gray 1997 Jeep Grand Cherokee operated by 45-year-old Marcia Loisel of Central Village was traveling west on Plainfield Road when the operator lost control of her vehicle, failed to maintain proper lane, and struck a rock wall on the property of 58 Plainfield Road, coming to a final resting stop at the stone wall. Loisel was evaluated on scene by members of the American Legion Ambulance and then transported to Plainfield Bacchus Emergency Care Center in Plainfield for what appeared to be minor injuries. Loisel was cited for operating under suspension as well as failure to maintain proper lane. As a public service, we want to let you know that there is free drive-through COVID-19 testing that's at Dodd Stadium, 14 Stott Avenue in Norwich. They will be doing it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. And UCFS here in Griswold, 226 East Main Street, will be doing testing on Saturday, 7 to 11 a.m. There is no appointment needed, although patients will be asked for insurance confirmation. There is no cost or out-of-pocket expense for a COVID test at any of these state-sponsored locations. In local sports from last night in volleyball, Griswold defeated Woodstock 3-1. Griswold is now 6-3 on the season. Coranda Ruggiero, 21 assists, 5 ace, 4 kills, and 5 digs. Sonia Matheson had 10 kills, 12 digs, and 1 ace. Haley Eliason, 22 digs, 4 aces, and Michaela Nielsen, 5 blocks and 4 kills. For Woodstock, Arissa Boardman had a total of 25 kills and 11 digs, and Lily Baton had 11 kills and 12 digs. Next up for Griswold on the volleyball courts, it will be Wheeler on Thursday night at Griswold High School. In town meetings in Griswold, nothing happening today, but Thursday there are a few meetings. There's an ordinance committee meeting, there's an ethics committee meeting, and then there is a special town meeting on Thursday, which will take place at 6 p.m. at Griswold Town Hall, 28 Main Street, with a few different pieces of business. You can see the agenda on the SNSN News Facebook page.
The 9 a.m. report on SNSN has been brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
Here's a look at your local weather forecast on SNSN. Cloudy skies today. Temperatures only getting to about 63 degrees with a north wind around 7 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy skies as well tonight. Temperatures dropping all the way down to about 50 and a little bit of a wind from the north around 5 miles per hour. And the outlook for Wednesday, finally sunny skies back in eastern Connecticut. Temperatures right around 71 degrees.
The latest news and weather. SNSN.
So, welcome back. That was just us breaking for the news for a little bit. Hopefully you got some sort of information out of there, like the town meeting or the special town meeting that's happening on Thursday. That I don't know if people are aware of. So we're going to try to go ahead and give you an idea of what this special town meeting is all about. One thing I don't agree with, and I don't know if you do, Rich, but when it comes to special town meetings, you have to put it out there they got to put it in the bulletin.
Well, you know how many people will look at that, you know?
That's my point.
Yeah.
But it's a law. Yeah. That you have to put it out in a printed place, like, the Norwich Bulletin.
Right.
So
it's one of those old laws. Like you can't have other than white Christmas lights in Greenwich.
Yeah. Can't walk it backwards after dark in Madison.
Yep.
But there's a real reason for that. You know what that is?
It's offensive.
No. If you walk backwards, or who walks backwards on the roads? Who would walk backwards on a road or a highway?
Someone that's not smart.
No, maybe. But this will make sense as soon as I put up the thumb.
Okay.
I'm hitchhiking.
Oh, okay. So why not just say you can't hitchhike?
Because it's not illegal.
Hitchhiking is not illegal?
No. And that's I don't know, any more than walking backwards after dark. But during the day you can.
So it's that makes sense. Sure.
Kathy, look at it. Kathy already did it. Look at it. Hitchhikers. It's way ahead of you, man.
Really?
Way ahead of you.
Don't tell her that.
I just did. She's right there.
What'd she say?
Hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Boom. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
It's the smart one out of the Waslick crew right there. Sorry, Rich. All right. So let's get into this funny little town meeting that they're doing on Thursday night.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. I'm here. I'm there. Huh? I'm gonna see if I can bring
put it up there.
Yeah. Here we go. So there we are.
At least they highlighted it.
Yeah, there's the that's the tab right there. It's about smoking. So for example, the smoking policy, if you look at it 193-1, no smoking policy in town buildings and properties. It's highlighted and property, so that's new. So no person shall smoke in any building. No smoking is allowed on town property unless there is a designated smoking and posted with appropriate signage by the town. And they're taking out used or owned by town of Griswold, including the education department. So basically it's got to be posted or forget it.
Well, yeah,
on town-owned property.
Yeah,
in town buildings. Town vehicles, that's the same. There's no change. There shall be no smoking in any town of Griswold owned or leased vehicle. And then definition. So here's the definition of smoking. And this is all new because of the
cannabis.
The cannabis laws. So the lighting or carrying of a lighted cigarette, cigar, pipe, and other device or substance which contains tobacco and or cannabis related products, including e-cigarettes, vaping, and or nicotine products.
So it's all inclusive, like they said.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something, because you're more of a medical professional than I am. Let's go into vaping for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What is one of the reasons why they want to ban cigarettes or smoking in certain areas? Why? Because people are offended by the smell, or some people get sick, with secondhand smoke, right?
That's what they say.
Oh,
yeah.
right. But still, you want to.
Well, the problem is this: you get the nicotine, you get the smoke, all the chemicals that are actually incited into your lungs, and especially if you have some kind of respiratory illness, it's going to cause exacerbation of the lungs and everything, and it's going to cause them to get inflamed and make someone have more difficulty breathing. And stuff
So, what
like
about vaping? You're breathing out steam.
That's what they tell you you're breathing out.
Okay.
You're actually vaping. From some past research they've done, when it first came out, is actually almost will kill you quicker than cigarettes.
Okay.
Because it's actually a powder that's in the vape that'll coat your lungs.
Okay. What's this thing called? Popcorn lung.
I think it's just you grow like polyps or something on your lungs, or I think that you try to explain it that way. That's what I think.
So I think what they're doing is they took out the word similar, another similar device. Now it's just and other device or substance which contains tobacco, and the new verbiage in highlighted yellow, and or cannabis related products, including e-cigarettes, vaping, and or nicotine products.
Yeah, the word similar and something like that, like an ordinance, that's a horrible word to use because it's very much open to interpretation. This one right here is very specific.
So chewing tobacco is not a part of this.
Not of this. I was just thinking that because in some towns they say tobacco products overall.
Well, here's the thing. It says smoking. The definition of smoking.
The lighting. Yeah.
The lighting or carrying of a lighted cigarette. You don't do that with chew. Otherwise, it'd be kind of warm. So there you go.
Kathy says the new law doesn't say you can't smoke crack on town property. LOL.
Well, I think
that's the state federal law, but yeah,
let's hope people figure that out on their own. No, you shouldn't be smoking crack on town property. Does there need to be a freaking sign for that
today?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So the other thing is when you put up a sign, it's supposed to be obvious.
Okay.
So like carrying firearms. The law is you have to have a sign, an obvious sign that someone sees that says you can't carry a firearm. Okay. And then you have people that put these little tiny signs up there, and you're supposed to see that. It's supposed to be obvious. So you have to have, like, you walk into the park, should be a sign right on the sidewalk, huge sign that says you can't smoke anything on this property.
So on another part, let's move on. There's another part to this meeting, and it's not just about smoking. It's about peddlers and or vendors and or hawkers within the town of Griswold. And there's going to be a couple of they're proposing some changes in the verbiage to that as well. And let's see if we can put this up here, which we should be able to. So you can see it. Oh, nope, don't want to do that. No, I'll get this right yet.
Don't put the picture of me in the bikini up there. That's
yesterday. That was yesterday, dude. All right, so here it is. Here's the page we're looking at right here. And get rid of that. So any section 2, any person desiring such a license that will make applicable to blah blah blah. An ordinance concerning peddlers, vendors, and hawkers in the town of Griswold. Those are people that sell stuff and that set up remotely, right?
Okay.
So here's one of the changes they want to make. And I got something right off the bat to talk about this. So the fees for license for to be one of these folks is $100, and such license shall expire 1 year succeeding the date or expire the date of issuance. Shall expire 1 year. Okay. See now. Okay, I'm going to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 day or one event permit you can get for $25 per event, or shall expire the succeeding day of its issuance. The fee shall be payable at the time of the application is made. Hours of use are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. unless otherwise authorized by the first selectman / designee.
So like the fair or the carnival or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. That has to be, because I was just going to say, well, that has to, they've got to change that.
Yep.
Or Spooktopia.
Sure.
Christmastopia.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. The Snowflake Parade.
Yeah. Valentopia.
Yeah. Groundhogtopia. Topia. Those are all things that, because they're past 6 p.m. So they're changing the hours of use, and they're also putting in there, please allow up to 48 hours to generate the badge and issue a permit. And that's really it.
Well, I think that's a big thing people don't realize. People that are doing that and they have a license, they have to have the ID or badge on them.
Yeah.
So don't put all over Griswold now that this is weird guy walking up and down the road selling stuff if they have a badge on them. That's
right. Yeah. So anyway. That's that. Those are the things. So if you care, go down to the meeting on Thursday. If you don't care, don't go.
Now this whole was spurred on by the whole. I forgot the name of the term for that. Yeah, where they pushed back, making it legal.
No, it's still legal.
No, the cannabis part.
It's still legal.
Yeah, in Connecticut.
Yeah, but it's still legal in Griswold too. You can in your own home, you can smoke it.
Yeah.
You can have a
not in public
X amount and stuff like that. Right. There was a moratorium.
Right. That's what I was trying to come up with. A moratorium
on opening any kind of cannabis related retail organization or store.
This is just the beginning of what they were trying to accomplish, though, from what I understand.
Well, like right now, some towns are allowed to take, depending on what they voted on, can take applications for cannabis organizations, and if they're granted the license, and you can have X amount of cannabis locations, retail establishments, depending on how many people live in your area. So I think it's 1 per 25,000 in the town. So in New London, you could have 2. In Griswold, you can have 1. So what they did is they did a moratorium for 1 year.
Yep.
So the town will not accept any applications whatsoever for a pot store. Just make it simple.
Yeah.
For a year until they do more surveys and more information. Now, one of the things that was led on by Heather Summers, who voted no to legalize marijuana. And the reason why is she said that there are no provisions in the bill for kids. And it's not even, this is not Senator Summers now, but my opinion is it's not even about the stuff that you smoke. It's the edibles.
Okay.
So let's say mommy has gummies and they're for whatever her purposes are. They're legal. It doesn't matter. Personal use. Little Jake finds them. Downs 4 of them. They're gummies. They're delicious. What happens then?
Big high.
Yeah, or the kid gets really, really, really sick. So you have to hide those or lock them up like you would any other medication, right?
You would think. Not that many people lock up their medications either, but yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that Grizzle Pride has been trying to teach.
Yeah.
All along, is to hide your medications or put them in lock boxes or whatever. And the reason for that is because you could be at home and here comes your grandchildren, that are teenagers, and go, "Hey, Grandma, I gotta use your bathroom, all right?" Next thing you know, they're rifling through Grandma's medicine cabinet.
Yeah, they're going to a rainbow party. Yeah.
So that's why it's important.
Well, it's like one of the big things when I teach the classes are Narcan. It's not just for your guy that goes out and overdoses on fentanyl.
We have Narcan right out there just in case.
Yeah, it's a lot of times you can use it on the little kids. They get into grandma's opiates for back pain and all kinds of stuff. So.
Another thing that Miranda from Grizzle Pride told me about, and she brought it on the show, was like, and I couldn't believe this. It's like people will go on. Ready for this? They'll go on showings of homes, and they will specifically go into the medicine cabinet to see if people left their medications.
Wow. No kidding.
There you go. Yep. And they find them there. So
never heard that one before. That's different.
I didn't either until Miranda told me about it. I'm thinking that's pretty wild. So there are reasons why they got to come up with these verbiage changes and stuff. So
well, you'll find verbiage is the biggest thing in all of those. It's people will interpret anything the way they feel like they need to. And
right. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll talk more about this stuff. And I think what we want to talk about next for about maybe 10 minutes or so. I would really like to know what y'all complain about to each other, spouses. What do you guys fight about, other than money? Because that's the obvious one. So other than money, what do you guys fight about? It's right here on SNSN.
Family owned and operated. That's something you don't hear too often anymore. Highway Campers of Plainfield is now 3 generations in and going strong. If you're looking to upgrade or get your first RV, contact the family that knows RVs, Highway Campers. They'll walk you through the process of finding the right RV for you and can even finance it for you. Visit www.highwaycampers.com and find your home on wheels. After all, home is where you park it. Highway Campers is a proud supporter of Griswold Youth Football.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
You buy better. Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
Hurricane season is upon us. Did you know insurance companies can issue moratoriums that prevent you from securing coverage when there's an impending storm? Homeowners, business owners, property owners, act now. Don't let your coverage leave you out in the rain. The licensed professionals at the Burns Agency are here to help. Call, email, or chat with us online today. Don't let the next natural disaster become an insurance disaster. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Better. Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
The voice of Griswold, Jewett City and Plainfield. SNSN.
So what do you and Kathy complain to each other about?
I think the biggest one is probably that she's always cold and I'm always hot.
Are you serious? That's it?
Well, other than kid stuff, but the normal kid stuff.
So
other than that,
other than money or whatever, other than money, what do you? Come on, there's got to be something you guys go rock'em sock'em robots about. Come on.
Well, A lot of times she'll be in a bad mood, and I'll be like,
Oh, but you're not in a bad mood. It's her, right?
Always.
You hear that, Cappy?
Always.
You're in the bad mood.
always.
Not Rich. All right, so she's in a bad mood. What else?
And I try and be.
So she's in a bad mood and cold. Oh, jeez, you better get the hell out of there.
Oh yeah, and she'll bundled up and like in bed she'll be cold, and I'll have my feet and they'll rub up against her. It's cold. Yeah, stuff like that. But like right now, I still have the air conditioning on.
Okay.
And because unless it's 60 or below, I have a hard time sleeping.
So that's really it. That's
the biggest thing, probably.
That's the biggest thing you guys have a problem with.
And like the normal kid stuff, like the kids do this, kids do that. We were brought up differently.
Do you guys fight depending on whose kid it is?
As far as behavior wise?
Do you ever get accused of saying, well, you're different with mine than you are with your own?
Oh yeah, that's standard. I think you're going to get that, especially with mixed homes and stuff. I think that's natural. I think that's a natural thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have, if anything, it makes me kind of sad in a way. Is I never ever had problems relating to kids, whether it was my own or my son's brothers and sisters. Never had a problem with them, or even my ex-wife's kids. Dane. I mean, Dane sends me, a thing the other day. It said this song made me think of you. It's called "My Boy." Was it LV McShane, or it's a country song or whatever? And I'm like, oh. And then I'm DJing a wedding. Yeah, I'm DJing a wedding the other night, and they wanted to hear it, so I took a short video of it playing, and I sent it to him. And
oh, cool.
He's not my son biologically, but he's my kid. I don't care what anybody says. He's my kid.
Sure.
Like Elizabeth, who is my son's sister. She when she would we had this thing back in the day when Nick was a baby, and I had done this with all three of my kids, Nick, Rihanna, and Chelsea. Is I would always they would be on my lap, and I would sing them the same stupid song over and over and over again. And it was, it's all right to be a baby. It's all right. And then I would pick up their arms and go, all right. It's all right to be a baby. It's all right. Bye-bye. And it's all right. You keep going on, right?
That's cool.
She has done with all three of her kids, especially she just had one 8 months ago. She did a video singing the "It's All Right to Be a Baby" song.
Oh, that's cool.
With hers and sends it to me.
Carry on down the generations.
And these aren't even my kids.
But they're still your kids.
They are my kids.
Yeah. You're helping raise them. You influence them. Yeah. That's the way it is.
So I don't know. Like Melissa's oldest daughter hates me. Hates me.
Well, I think that's going to happen with a lot of kids. You piss them off at some point, they're going to be upset about something.
Well, I don't want to be. I mean, it's not my job to be. They were older anyway, so it's almost. I know I'm not your father.
Yeah,
I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
So I go,
hey, good morning.
So anyway,
yeah,
I don't know. Just a big. That's my big.
The big one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like I can't seem to get over that hurdle.
Well, I think it's natural for a lot of kids. I had that in my first marriage with the kid. I flat out told them, listen, I'm not here to be your father. I don't want to be your father.
Yeah.
So it goes with the ones now. It's not there to be your father. I'm there to help out. I'm there we can need something. But one of the biggest things I always say is, listen, this is our house. You're going to respect us. And I don't care what your problem is. I think that's one of the biggest issues I have a lot of the time is I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you're unhappy. I don't care, but you're going to respect us. And there's just no way around that.
Yeah.
And I try and do that with everybody. I don't care who you are.
Right.
So I think that's probably one of the largest things too. I was brought up differently, and My big thing, my father was a math teacher. My mother was a nurse. There was respect. And my father, I was disrespectful to him. He picked me up, almost threw me through a wall. It was. So that's the way I was brought up. And
so, Jim, since you're here, come on over.
This be a different generation.
Come on,
man,
you
so.
didn't come here to stand in the doorway. You know it, and I know it.
I just came by to say hello. That's all.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Damn well, I'm going to throw you on the air.
Yeah,
Jim Barney.
Let's wonder what they argue about.
Yeah, what do you, we're talking about things that you argue about at home with your spouse.
With my spouse. You know, in reality, we really don't argue very much.
Listen, I don't really argue. Much.
You know, probably the worst arguments we had was when we built the house and she wanted to spend $10,000 on appliances and I wanted to spend $100.
I think you told me that story. You did. Yeah.
You know,
that's funny.
I regret that. I really regret that. That's one of my big regrets with her.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It happens. You know.
I think arguing is natural too.
It's human
nature. A normal
nature.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and the problem is, I mean, I come from a generation, well, but at least a generation and a half older than you, and probably 2 generations older than you. And you know, you'd buy an appliance. I mean, we had a cold spot refrigerator, same refrigerator for over 30 years. Never had a service man in for it. Nothing.
Got a Norge.
The crap you're buying now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on our 3rd round of appliances, and it wasn't like we bought crap appliances. I mean, a Mano was, you know, my first choice in appliances today is Whirlpool, really.
Yeah.
And I've been a Whirlpool fan for probably 50 years.
Well, I think it goes with vehicles, appliances, everything now is crap compared to what it was when you were younger.
Back then, I do also believe that they made stuff that lasts.
Yeah.
They don't now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they engineer it to obsolescence. I mean, they give you a 5-year guarantee, and it craps out 5 years and a month later. You know.
Yeah.
All right, Kathy had to chime in on you, Rich.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna argue now.
Rich uses the damn sprayer on the sink to wash dishes.
Yes.
And I have to clean up the spray and splatter afterwards every damn day. Drives me crazy.
This is true.
Crazy face emoji.
Yep.
Well, let me give you a response to that. And it's not just to, what was the name?
Kathy. Yeah.
No, we're not just to Kathy. Okay. I remember many years ago, my mother used to hang her stockings up on the rod for the shower in the bathtub. So every time I went in there, there was stockings hanging there. Okay. And one day I said to myself, how would you like it if there was never any stockings there again because your mother had passed away?
Yikes.
Never complained about her stockings again.
Well, here's one of my pet peeves, and this has a lot to do with dishes. So it's rare if you get one of the kids to actually scrape their plate into the garbage.
Oh, that drives me nuts.
Right?
And we have a disposal.
I don't have a disposal or anything, but well, I do have a garbage can.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really easy with that, right? So one of the things we have one young man that likes oatmeal.
Oh, it turns
into
a brick.
Me too. Yeah, but then it dries.
Yeah,
and sticks to the bowl, and then you got to soak it or scrub it or whatever. So I told him, I said, "You do this again." I said, "You're going to come. I'm going to put these back in your room, and you're going to come out and you're going to scrub them." I said, "Because I'm not going to sit here and because you didn't want to rinse out your bowl." Once. I haven't seen it since.
Yep.
I haven't seen it since. I gotta say, Cameron, if you give him an ultimatum, the kid learns.
Yep.
He does, you know. But he's a normal kid. He's 17 years old, you know.
Part of learning.
Whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. But boom, I did. I brought him back. I said, "It's all dry." I said, "You clean this. I'm not scrubbing this." And
it's funny,
ruining sponges.
When we were younger, we had to put them in the dishwasher. We got done with the dishes. They didn't go in the sink.
Oh no.
They didn't go in the sink. You had to put them in the dishwasher. So we had to hand scrub them. So when my father had enough one day, he took all the dishes and he put it on my sister's bed on top of her pillow.
So what I do a lot, well, all the time, I should say, is when I'm doing the dishes, was doing this last night, so it's in my head, is that I always have to pre-wash everything. Because if you take crap, from the sink right into the dishwasher, chances are that stuff's kind of a little something dried on there or whatever. It's not going to come off the dishwasher. So it takes forever.
Yeah, and it ruins the dishwasher
because they don't scrape their plate.
We all got our little pet nuisances.
And I don't use the sprayer, by the way.
Hey, I like the
All
spray.
right, just let you know.
I like the spray.
I really do.
But then I wipe up when I'm done. So anyway,
We all have our
We're
little
talking dishes, by the
annoyances.
way.
I mean, when we clean up from the table, half the time they put their napkin in the slop in the plate. Okay, that irks me. All right. The other thing is, I mean, a lot of times I'll rinse the dishes. And the other thing is they stack them, so you got to rinse both the top and the bottom of every plate.
Oh yeah,
when you would carry them over to the sink. I just stupid little annoyances.
Yeah.
Is it worth a comment? Not really.
Here's one. Daryl from the Healthy Computer says, when my wife is putting dishes in the dishwasher and I put a dirty cup on the counter instead of in the dishwasher. So I would see how that would tick you off.
Oh yeah,
I get that one.
Who empties the dishwasher?
We try and share the wealth.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the kids. That's the other thing that we argue about a little time sometimes is she's very specific. OCD type of, hey, here's your pill type of OCD. And the kids, they're kids. They don't give a damn about anything.
Yeah.
I think they do. I just think they need.
They
to be
have to care
pushed
about
into
it. Yeah. So I always tell her to make sure they do it, and she's like, "Well, they're not going to do it right anyway."
Well, we have tasks.
That's.
I mean, as a kid, I was the oldest, so I got to wash the dishes. The next brother down, he got to wipe them.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, and then when the next one got old enough to be able to wipe them, I escaped. and they moved up the roll, up the line.
Yeah. See, my brother used to do the old with my parents. I'm going to do it wrong, so I'm not going to have to do it again. And so then I would always end up having to do it.
Well, I mean, there's a solution to that. You do it wrong, you do them over again.
Yeah, that would be the key.
Yeah. And I thought you said your mother were very strict.
They were, but then they got tired of dealing with him. He was always the little baby of the runt.
Oh, okay.
He was, and then my sister and I were the older troublemakers.
Well, I mean, I never got in trouble because I didn't dare get in trouble.
Yeah.
And the next brother down hardly got in trouble, and the third one down. The fourth one, that was a different story. And I think they were worn out by then. I don't know,
Yeah.
My daughter, even though she only comes to my house part time, when she comes, she has chores that she needs to do.
Yeah.
Like one of the things she'll do is walk the dogs. It's but here's another thing. It's like Cameron, he does the garbage and the recyclables, right? And he's fine with it. He does it,
You just got to get into the routine of it.
He does. I mean, you got to tell him, because otherwise he'll stack stuff up or whatever. But once you tell him, he'll do it.
Yeah, they need a
He
reminder.
does it, right.
Yeah, they got other stuff on their brain.
All right. And now, so he's really the only full-time kid living in the house. So Melissa's daughter, Samantha, she's a full-time student. So when she comes home and stuff like that, which is once a month, maybe twice on the weekends, maybe, I don't really ask her to do anything because
almost like a visitor now.
Yeah. And I know because she does very well in school. So I almost feel like, when she was there full time, it's like, hey, can you walk dogs? Can you
you live here.
dishwasher and stuff like that? Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she would always be accommodating and do it. But now I don't, and Cameron never said anything, hasn't said anything to me, but I'm waiting for him to say, well, why don't you ask Sam to do anything? Well, she's never really here, and what do you want to do when she comes home? And it's nice, because I said, your mother likes having her here, make her experience bad because you're making her do tons of chores or anything.
Yeah. Then why come home?
Yeah, but she does things on her own. Like she'll take the dogs for walks and stuff, and so
Nice.
they can do their business.
I mean, when we were kids, we used to get a penny for each task we had. Okay. So, I mean, we
That's
could
big bucks back then.
We could possibly make 20 cents a week.
Wow.
Okay. If we did everything, you make your bed, there's 7 cents. Do the dishes, there's another 7 cents. Take the rubbish out, another penny here or there. So, I mean, we could make 15 to 20 cents a week.
Wow.
And, we were pretty thrilled with that.
We get a lot of candy for that back then, right?
I know a young mother in town here that she's assigned tasks to her children, and she's doing just exactly what my parents did. You do your task, you get a. Like, it's not a penny anymore; it's inflated.
Yeah.
It's $50.
Solid to make it.
No,
better.
it isn't. I think it's a quarter a task.
Oh, okay.
Johnny, if you do the dishwasher, you get $20. That's not payment. That's bribery. All right. So I think that's about it. We got a few people chiming in on what they argue about at home, and it's a few different things.
Well, you're gonna
a
read
lot
it?
of around dishes, though.
You're gonna read it?
I did already.
Oh, you
I read them
it.
already.
Oh, okay.
I saw what Daryl said, and his wife chimed in, and Joanne. So anyway.
Oh, Joanne, she's a regular, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah.
She is.
Morning, Joanne.
I don't know if she's still there, but Daryl always comes in for the tail end.
Probably just coming into work, huh?
He might be. He's got banker's hours.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rich, are we seeing you Thursday?
So far.
So far.
Depends on if I have to go to work, but yeah.
Oh, hey, you're on the ordinance committee, right, Jim?
Unfortunately.
So tomorrow,
Thursday.
Thursday's the town meeting.
I thought the town meeting was Wednesday.
It's Thursday's special meeting, right?
Special meeting, special town meeting. Hold on, let me go back. Oh, God, you're killing me. Hold up. I just had it up there. What's today? Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
So it's the 5th, right?
Yes.
So it's I think it's the 7th. So it's Thursday. Let me check it again. Town meeting, October 7th. What day is the 7th?
Well,
that's Thursday, correct?
Yeah. If today is the 5th,
Wednesday,
the
7th.
That would be right.
Yep.
Okay. So here, I can pop this up on the screen one more time. Oh, Joanne is there. Hi, Joanne. This is this one. Yeah. All right. So there we go. That right there is the notice of the special meeting for Thursday, October 7th. And they're going to the amendment of Chapter 193 of smoking, which we covered. We talked about. We talked about the a new ordinance of the one concerning peddlers, hawkers, and vendors. And shall the town of Griswold, we did not cover this because whatever. Shall the town of Griswold approve the sale of the property located at 1730 Glasgow Road for the sum of $500? Is that the church?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So maybe you can
$500. It can't be.
Maybe you can answer this. Why would the town have to approve a sale? Is it a town-owned property or is it a private sale?
It would have to be.
Yeah.
It have to be.
That's what I was
town-owned
thinking.
property.
Yeah. Huh.
So not sure why, but anywho.
You mentioned the ordinance. Was that what you wanted to mention, or did you have some other question that you?
No, I just wanted to let you know that we covered it and stuff like that. And I don't know if there was anything that you had.
Well, we've been working on an alarm ordinance for over 2 years, and I'm really tired of it.
So, can you explain the alarm ordinance? Because I'm familiar with them, but I don't know what Griswold's was going to.
Well, in very quick summary, if you are, I don't think it applies to homes, but if you have an alarm system and it's connected to the fire department or something like that, you're going to have to register it. And if you get certain number of false alarms, et cetera, then there's going to be financial penalties.
It was like the one New London put in. Then.
Is that yeah?
Yeah.
I may have even had a copy of New London's when I kind of drafted
I think
this.
One of the big misnomers, since it's Fire Prevention Month, is probably a good time to bring it up. Is a lot of people think the alarms are tied to the fire departments. They're not. The fire departments have nothing to do with them.
They go to
private
companies.
Yeah, and then they call dispatch.
There are none that are tied to the fire departments down here. Okay.
No, they go usually a private carrier.
Yeah.
They used to have boxes in the dispatch centers. Like when I started, it would ring in there, but those were town buildings.
Mhm.
They weren't public buildings. And a lot of times I've dispatched fire departments to fires, and then they already have a hand line stretch, fires out. Here comes the alarm company. Yeah, we got a fire alarm at a residence. Like, yeah, thanks. The fire department already put the fire out, but thanks for calling.
Yeah. It's one of the things I think that really brought it around was there was a few places we were getting considerable false alarms. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, especially for a volunteer fire department.
Yeah.
That is, that is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys you run from your job, you do all kinds of things. You get up at 2:00 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And to have a false alarm because of faulty equipment.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. And it's a wear and tear on the equipment too.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know if anybody's going to really care, but the parcel of land that they're talking about is off of Glasgow Road. It's just all trees. The assessed value is $2,940.
And they're selling it for $500. Huh?
$500.
So they must have a buyer.
Oh, I'm sorry, appraised land value. I'm sorry, $4,200.
So they must have a buyer.
Well, no, there is somebody.
Yeah. They're selling it for.
Doesn't say what size it is or anything, does it?
I can't really find that. That's what I'm looking for. I don't see that.
Maybe you want to buy it to build a new home up there.
No.
Just curious why they're selling it for so little if it's worth
It
so
may,
much.
it may just be a landlocked piece that's of no value to anybody but in a butter or something like that.
I think that's what it was. I think it abuts somebody else's property and then they buy it.
Okay.
Hey, pick it up for $500, do something with it. What the hell?
It's a barrier
But
for something else.
if it's land, there's another philosophy to that. If it's landlocked and it's there,
Mhm.
why buy it and pay the taxes on it? You got the use of it anyways.
Well, that's. I'm thinking maybe they're doing as a buffer to something else that they think might be coming. Or...
Could be. Who knows? Anyway. All right, Rich, we'll see you Thursday.
Yep.
Jim, we'll see you whenever. We never know.
You never know.
It's like the shadow, man. You just never know when he's going to show
Well,
up.
you remember that radio program.
The shadow knows. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Once again, Paul Ash will be back. And we'll do stuff like we do every day right here on SNSN. See ya.
Grill Liquors and V-Town Liquors. Hundreds of new products, the best prices around, and a renovated Voluntown store are giving away a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle 10-year bourbon. Online, that bottle goes for up to $1,000. Tickets are $20 a piece. Buy all you want. And the tickets available at the Griswold or Voluntown stores. Winner announced October 2nd. You don't need to be present to win. All proceeds support Griswold Youth Football. Grill Liquors and V-Town Liquors. The best parties start here.
Hello, I'm Miranda Mahoney, Project Coordinator of Grizzle Pride, your drug-free community coalition.